Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diary channel. Have you ever seen someone trying to hide their feelings, but their eyes say it all? The final night of BTS's concert in Mexico City felt completely different. Not only because thousands of armies filled the stadium with a sea of beautiful purple lights, but because there was something about the way Jungkook looked at Jimin that night that made the entire internet stop breathing for a few seconds. And now, armies are starting to wonder the same thing. Is it really all clear at last? Because on that final night, Jungkook seemed to have given up trying to hide his closeness to Jimin. From the beginning of soundcheck to the end of the concert, fan cameras kept capturing moments that made armies' hearts melt. The way Jungkook kept sticking close to Jimin. The way he turned just to make sure Jimin was there. Even when the other members were talking, Jungkook's attention was repeatedly drawn back to the same person. And yes, it was Jimin. Mexico City witnessed one of the most emotional nights of BTS's year. From the first day of the concert, the atmosphere was incredible. Army cheers were so loud that some fan cams sounded like a small earthquake in the stadium. But the final night brought a completely different energy. There was sadness as the concert was ending, but also a warmth that was hard to describe. And amidst it all, Jikook was once again the center of attention. It all started when fans began to notice how Jungkook followed Jimin for most of the night. Even when the members' formations changed on stage, Jungkook was seen naturally moving closer to Jimin several times. Many initially thought it was just a coincidence, but as the concert progressed, it became increasingly difficult to deny their chemistry. One of the most viral moments occurred when Jimin was speaking to ARMY. The stadium's large camera panned to his smiling face as he thanked the Mexican fans for their overwhelming love over the past few days. The other members listened, joking around. But Jungkook? He just stared at Jimin. Not just staring. He looked at him tenderly, calmly, almost like someone completely immersed in the presence of someone he cares about. An ARMY immediately noticed. Within minutes, social media was filled with video clips with captions like, "Jungkook completely forgot there was a camera," and "The way he looked at Jimin said it all." Some fans even said they felt like they were watching a real-life romantic drama unfold on stage. But what made the night even more emotional was Jungkook's own expression. Throughout the concert, he looked utterly blissful. His small smiles appeared repeatedly whenever he was near Jimin. In some fan cams, Jungkook was seen trying to hold back laughter just because of a small comment from Jimin next to him. And honestly, it made ARMY cry, because their relationship has always had something different. It wasn't just about skinship or cute moments in front of the camera. It was about comfort, about how they seemed at home with each other, even in the middle of a massive stadium with tens of thousands of people. That night, it felt like Jungkook had stopped trying to keep his distance. There was one other moment that truly sent the fandom into a frenzy. As BTS were walking around the stage greeting everyone, Jimin was left behind because he was busy shaking hands with fans. A few seconds later, Jungkook was seen slowing his pace and turning back just to wait for Jimin. Simple, but so personal. And when Jimin finally walked alongside him again, Jungkook's expression changed into a small, sweet smile that immediately caused fans to scream hysterically in the fan cam. ARMY knows Jungkook very well. They know how he usually acts. That's why when he showed even the slightest bit of attention to Jimin, fans could immediately feel the difference. Moreover, that night wasn't the first. Throughout the Mexico tour, their interactions continued to go viral. From the way Jungkook always looked for Jimin on stage, to the way they laughed together during soundcheck, to how the two looked so comfortable standing close together even when the camera wasn't focused on them. And last night felt like the pinnacle. Some fans even said the energy of the night felt much more emotional than usual. It was as if they knew the moment would soon be over, that once the concert lights went down and the stadium was empty again, all those beautiful memories would remain only in ARMY's hearts. Maybe it was so soft all night. There was a moment when confetti began to fall from the stadium. The encore music played. The BTS members leaned in close, enjoying the last moments with the Mexican fans.
Poder estar aquí con ustedes.
That's when a fan's camera caught Jungkook standing very close to Jimin, smiling slightly at him. And for a few seconds, the world seemed to stand still. There was nothing dramatic. There was no direct confession. But that's what made it feel so real. Because sometimes, closeness doesn't need to be explained in words. The way they look at each other is enough. The ARMY immediately flooded the internet with theories and emotional reactions. Many said that Jungkook seemed much more open lately, especially towards Jimin. Some even suggested that this might be the first time Jungkook seemed truly unable to hide his feelings in public. And of course, the fandom immediately melted down. Reaction videos emerged on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Some fans cried while discussing the moment because they felt the warmth of Jimin's relationship was so genuine. Others said they didn't care what label their relationship was, because what mattered most was how genuinely happy they looked together. And that was undeniable. Their happiness felt so natural. Jimin himself looked radiant that night. His smile never wavered. He kept joking around with the other members, jogging around the stage, and occasionally laughing so hard that his body bent over comically. But what caught fans' attention was how Jimin seemed to reflexively look for Jungkook several times. It was as if the two were always aware of each other's presence. There was a chemistry that couldn't be faked. And the longer ARMY watched them, the more it became clear that their relationship was built on years of togetherness, trust, and deep comfort. Perhaps that's why so many people love Jikook. Because they don't seem perfect. They seem real. Sometimes mischievous. Sometimes too clingy. Sometimes teasing each other like little children. But in certain moments, like that last night in Mexico City, their softer sides were truly evident. And Jungkook, perhaps unknowingly, showed too much that night. Fans even began to notice small details they might have previously missed. The way Jungkook stood slightly closer to Jimin than the other members. The way his eyes immediately sought Jimin out when something funny happened. Even the way he laughed more freely when he was around him. All those little details combined into one big story that made it hard for ARMY to move on, especially after the concert was over. When the BTS members stood together to give their final farewell to the Mexican fans, the atmosphere was incredibly emotional. The stadium was filled with chants of BTS, BTS, as the members seemed to be enjoying their final moments on stage. And amidst it all, Jungkook once again looked incredibly close to Jimin. Many fans said they felt like they were witnessing two people who were truly comfortable with each other, no longer needing to pretend. Perhaps that's why the phrase, "finally confirmed," went viral among ARMY after the concert. Not because there was an official confession, but because the feeling was so palpable that night. Of course, only Jungkook and Jimin know the true nature of their relationship. And as fans, it's most important to respect their privacy and support their happiness, whatever it may be. But one thing that can't be denied is the fact that their relationship has provided so many heartwarming moments for ARMY over the years. And BTS's final night in Mexico City will likely be remembered as one of the most emotional for the Jimin fandom. Because for a moment, Jungkook seemed to no longer be afraid to show how important Jimin was to him. And maybe that's why the entire stadium felt so warm that night. It wasn't just the purple lights, but the love and comfort palpable between two people who had grown together for years in front of the world. As the stadium lights slowly dimmed and BTS finally left the stage, many ARMYs admitted they weren't ready to say goodbye to that night. Fancam videos were constantly replayed. Snippets of Jungkook's glances at Jimin were constantly analyzed. And to this day, the fandom still can't move on from the tender energy they displayed during that final concert. Perhaps some moments are just too beautiful to forget. And perhaps that final night in Mexico City will always be one of those nights when ARMYs felt they saw the most genuine sides of Jungkook and Jimin. So what do you think, ARMY? Can Jungkook really hide his closeness with Jimin? Or is it just the natural chemistry of two best friends who have been together for years? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'm really curious to hear your theories after seeing all these sweet moments from Mexico City. And if you also felt your heart melt when you saw the way Jungkook looked at Jimin that night, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more emotional moments from Jimin that we'll be discussing together. See you in the next video, ARMY. Keep spreading the love, keep supporting BTS, and never stop believing in the little moments that warm our hearts.